What's up, everybody? It's me, your boy Big Nail, and I am in the building today. I know you guys don't expect to hear my voice. It is not Saturday, but we're going to do something different today. And for those of you who have never heard that song before, and for those of you who have heard it and have loved it, guess what? I got in the building. Yep, that's it, Mr. Charles Wright himself. Yesterday we had Lenny Williams. Today we got Mr. Charles Wright. See, that's how we do it right here on Urban Soul Radio. We get all the good people in here, from the independent artists to the major artists to the older artists to the younger artists. We do it good right here. So right now, Mr. Charles Wright, what's going on, man?
I'm glad you chose a young artist for today, man.
Yeah, hey, man, I got to do it that way. I got to do it that way, you know. So how's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Going good?
Yes, it is.
So you've been a busy man.
Yeah, I stay busy.
You've been a real. So tell me, let's go back. Let's go back. When did you get started? How long you been involved in music? Let's do it. Let's
I'm
start.
ashamed to tell you I've been in it so long.
We got to get started. We got these people. How long you
Had
been
my
in the game?
first hit record in 1956.
1956. Okay, and what was that?
It's called Eternally. Eternally.
Eternally. Okay.
Yeah.
Were you a solo artist or?
Well, actually I was. Well, what happened is that I just started singing less than a year ago, before that. And I was in school, and the guy that recorded me named me Little Charlie Wright.
Little Charlie Wright.
Spelled Cholly. So he put the record, pressed up, I don't know how many hundred records he had, and they sat on his floor for almost a year. And so I had given up on it, thought, that's it. You know, I chose the wrong field, because my music teacher in school had told me to choose anything but music. So anyway, one day a disc jockey came by and he heard Eternally, and he took it and put it on the radio that night. And he at that time they had the Orioles, the Penguins, the Platters, and all these people. So it was groups.
Right.
So they gave me a group name. They gave my the Twilighters instead of Little Charlie Wright, and that's how I got hung up with these groups. So anyway, that was my first hit record. Then I got involved with a guy, the most talented guy that ever lived in L.A., named Jesse Belvin. And he put me in another group called the Shields, and we had another huge record, number 12 pop record, You Cheated. And after that, I got involved with another group, Galahads, and we had a couple of hit records. And then that was the end of the group thing. When that group broke up, the president of that company, which was the biggest independent company in LA, asked me to stay on there as an A&R director.
Right.
I never thought of doing no stuff like that, you know what I mean?
Right. That's an important job right there.
Yeah, so I took the job, and I produced him a hit record, because he had hit records for there, Sam Cooke, Richie Valens, and a whole lot of folks, Ron Holden, but he was in a slump. And I guess he saw something in me while I was working with this group that was on the label that I didn't see in myself.
Okay.
And so when he chose me as an A&R director, I pulled him out of the hole. I made him a huge record, and he didn't want to pay me.
Was it as hard then as it is now to have a group? Because like now, you know, most, especially black groups, they just can't stay together for 10 minutes. So was it hard then to keep a group together?
Well, yeah, in a way. You know, in L.A. at that time, man, there were many groups. I mean, standing on the corner and down in the tunnels or in the bathroom doing harmony. It was about harmony. It was a good time, because it wasn't about killing each other like it is now.
Right.
It was about harmony.
Right.
And my problem I always had, you see, I had 3 groups before the Watch Band that were surfaced. And my problem with groups was that, we would practice, and we go in the tunnel, like I say, or in the bathroom at school, and seek out this echo so we could hear ourselves back. And we practice, and we finally make that hit record. And guess what happens?
What happened?
Girls.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that's why we always had a rule that you couldn't date the girls in the band.
I'm talking about the girls in the band.
Oh, just in general.
Yeah, they get
general.
to chasing girls,
Uh-huh.
and you don't go. No, you forgot that you had to go into that bathroom or in the tunnel to get that harmony and practice and practice and practice to make that hit record.
Correct.
How you gonna top that record?
Right.
Is a question.
Uh-huh.
And usually you don't top it because of
Yeah. Girls.
yeah. Guys get to chasing girls and get big headed.
Yeah. So what's been your best moment in your career so far?
Usually in the middle of a song.
In the middle of a song? What happens in that middle of the song to just make it that this is the best part? What do you think?
Well, when you get in that right groove, you find that magic spot.
Right.
You know, that song like you ever hear "Do Your Thing"?
I haven't heard that one.
Everybody get on the floor and do your thing.
Uh-huh.
Whatever it is. That was our first major record. Yeah.
We'll see if we can find that one so we can play it.
Made it up on the spot.
Made it up on the spot.
Yeah, and it changed the whole music industry.
Uh-huh.
Also, I had another one made up on the spot called "Your Love Means Everything to Me." It was a hit record. You probably don't know that one. Made it up on the spot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's how. I mean, I get the same way, but I have to be in a certain mood. Then it hits me to be able to write.
Yeah.
You know, it hits me to be able to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So when did the
I made it up while we were recording it.
While you're recording it, just on the fly.
Yeah.
What's your major instrument? Which one is your main one?
I suppose to be guitar because I was a studio guitarist for in LA for quite a while.
Okay.
But I played piano, the bass, the drums.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you have a studio set up now?
Oh, I have a studio in my house, yes.
And what's your favorite program? I got to ask this question. Which one do you use? Pro Tools, Logic? Which one do you like?
Right now, I'm using Pro Tools.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you're a Pro Tools man like me, so you can stay on the air. Okay.
You finna kick me out, man?
Yeah, everybody's gotten to this Logic thing now. I mean, I like Logic as far as writing music, but in vocals, I can't do it.
I don't know nothing about it.
Yeah, it just doesn't come out the way I like it to. So tell us about the Watts 103rd Street Rhythm Band. Now that's a long name for this day and age.
Yeah,
you gotta have one name.
It's a long story too. Well, actually, I started that band when I was at A&R man for the record company.
Mm-hmm. Which record company was that?
It was Delphi Records.
Okay.
Yeah. And I produced a record called "Those Oldies But Goodies Remind Me of You."
Mm-hmm.
And made a huge splash. But the guy didn't want to pay me, so I left the company.
Okay.
And but before then, I was going around the nightclubs and getting talent, seeking out talent.
Mm-hmm.
And one night I ran to this band called La La Wilson Band.
Mm-hmm.
These brothers, they were dressed, they were dressed real cool.
Mm-hmm.
They had like on, I think they had green jackets, beige pants, and white shoes, and they were all playing instruments, and they were dancing and routine and singing. Man, I said, this is what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I was already learning how to play the guitar, teaching myself anyway. So I decided to start me a band.
Mm-hmm.
And I started out with only myself and 3 other people. And eventually I ended up with 9 guys, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it was called Charles Wright and the Wright Sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Then one day, in the meantime, the band and I, we were working in nightclubs at night.
Right.
All during the day, I'd be recording in the studio with everybody. So one day I was in the studio recording with this band, and in walks Bill Cosby.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's no lightweight.
Yeah. And Fred Smith. Fred Smith was a producer whom he had produced, like, I don't know if you know anything about the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
He had produced Olympics hit record, Hully Gully, and all that stuff. And so Warner Brothers had assigned him to produce Bill Cosby's first singing record.
Mm.
So they come in the studio and looking for a band to do that with.
Uh-huh.
And then they stayed all day. They were so enthralled with the music we were making. And when they left, they said, you guys are going to be the guys we want to use for
Cosby's band.
Yeah,
Wow.
first
Wow.
record. So 2 or 3 weeks later, we were in the studio recording a song called "Little Old Man" by Bill Cosby.
Mm-hmm.
You into that?
I haven't heard that. We're gonna find that one too.
That's it was actually Stevie Wonder's "Uptight." The music was, and he was talking over top of it. It was a huge record. Matter of fact, it came up to the number 15 or something like that in the pop charts. So after that, he wanted to make an album. So we made an album with him.
So your band did the Little Old Man?
Actually, it was the studio band that I was playing with.
That you were in?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of the studio bands. I played in quite a few bands, but at that time. So this particular band was mostly black musicians, mostly. So anyway, that was his first hit record. Then he wanted to make an album, so we went back and made an album with him.
Right.
Then he wanted to make another album. And I think he had me singing on this with him too. And so we did another album called, the first one was called Silver Throat. Then the next one was called Salvation Army Band.
Salvation Army Band.
Salvation Army Band.
And I think they're still around too. Let's take a little quick peek at this, the Little Old Man by Bill Cosby.
All right.
Let's just check that out real quick.
It's funky, all right.
I muted.